Hey everybody, I'm going to do a daily rift now on my Barbarian. Quite a bit to talk about here too. There was a patch 2.0.6, I believe is the number, that came out yesterday. And some pretty cool changes. Not too significant. It's certainly not, I think 2.0.5 was the really big one too that we had recently. It is not quite that one, that's for sure. But some pretty interesting changes. I'm kind of... yeah, they're big changes, I think, overall. I gotta figure out exactly how I'm playing this Barbarian again. I've been playing my Crusaders so much that I'm just kind of out of the habit now of playing the Barbarian. But there's some pretty big changes that are going to be pretty impactful to the game, I think. But I'm kind of torn on exactly how I feel about them. I think that they're good changes. I would have really liked them as I was working on my Barbarian earlier. So I unfortunately kind of missed out on the real big benefits for it, but I think it's going to help new players mostly. It's going to be pretty important for the seasons. I think that's possibly the real reason behind the changes here. Well, I guess let's kind of just talk about them. The major change I think that happened is, number one, it says that they increased set item drop chance. Okay, so boom, that's pretty awesome. That's going to impact everyone. That's going to be really nice. Especially when the seasons come and you have to get all the items all over again and stuff like that. It's going to be important that you can get those items in the amount of time that the seasons are actually going. And so I think that's good. I don't think anyone will look at that and say that that's bad in any way. Hey, a potion of bottomless potion of Kool-Aid, sweet. Not very necessary since I have leap. But the other change, which is probably a bit more significant, is, you remember those crafting materials that you've had to farm up? I just made a Devastator, a couple of them the other day. I had to farm up the Devastator material. They actually got rid of all the crafting materials for that. You know, like the orange crafting materials that you had to farm for, they're gone now. So the crafting of set items, the crafting of legendaries, does not require crafting materials anymore. Like 9 out of 10 people, I think, when they hear that, they're going to be like, yes, thank God. I hated having to do that. I hated it. And you are definitely, I think, in the majority. And I think there's even a part of me that says that too. Like, I would have really appreciated that, I think, when I was working on my Barbarian, because I found a couple of set items as I was going through that I was really excited to find. I mean, if you guys have been watching my Torment 6 challenge video, you'll see, like, the first set item that I found, the Guardian's Jeopardy, I was actually really excited to find. Now, because of the crafting restrictions, I couldn't actually use it. I did craft a pair of bracers, but I never actually activated the full set or anything like that because of the crafting. However, it was not because of the crafting material. It was because of Forgotten Souls. So I don't know. This is where I stand on it. I think it's important that crafting some of the sets and legendaries, especially the lower ones, the ones that are not as good, I think it's important that they make those easy enough to craft that when you find them in a season, you can actually use them. It's okay for it to require something that takes a little bit of time to get. It's okay to make it so that you can't craft a ton of an item until you finally get a godly thing or something like that, you know? But it does, I think, need to be easy enough that when someone finds like a set, after about a day, they can have the whole set. Main reason being, some of the sets are really good, but they're not like necessarily end game. Same with the other legendaries, right? Some of them are really quite good, however, they're not end game. They're filler items. They're like legendary items that are going to be better than the rares that you found, but you will upgrade them long term. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in a month, anything like that, but you will upgrade them. And so, I don't know, like, you want to be able to use those items. Well, I guess really the best example is the Guardian's Jeopardy that I had found. When I found it, I was really excited because that's a pretty good set for a very under-geared character to use. It has, with that set, you can easily achieve 25% run speed. Whereas normally, like when I was, for the first, I don't know, kind of hard to put a number to it, but for the first couple days, I was running well below 25% run speed. Actually, for probably the first maybe 4 days or so, I was running sub 25% run speed because I was not high Paragon level, and I did not have items that added movement speed. I had just rare boots, just crappy rare boots. I had I don't know, like I just didn't have anything that was gave me enough run speed. So when I found that, I was actually really excited. I was like, sweet, this is gonna get me run speed. The helm has run speed, all that cool stuff, right? And so I was really looking forward to it, but the crafting of it was so prohibitive, needing 2 Forgotten Souls for every individual piece, that I could not craft all 3 of them when I was at a point in the game that I would have used it. In fact, by the time I could craft it, I didn't want it anymore. All I wanted was a legendary bracer, any legendary bracer, and so I crafted one and I used it. But the helm was useless to me. I think the other thing is a belt or something like that. That was just useless to me. I didn't need it. There was no way it was going to be good enough, and I had found other ways to attain the movement speed. By then I had found a pair of legendary boots that had movement speed on them, so I didn't need them. It had nothing to do with the crafting material. So I don't know the real reason behind the crafting material. What I have said before, like on the stream, I think probably the main reason behind it is Blizzard has been really good, like in their other games too, of getting rid of like unnecessary and painful like farming, or unnecessary and like overly complex sort of aspects of their game. Like if you look at WoW, they have started to take some of the skills that every single hunter uses, and they just give it to all the hunters. So that way, like it takes like the frustration point. Like the frustration point being, hey, I want to use this other skill, but I can't because I have to use this other one if I want to be in any way, shape, or form effective. So it kind of I don't know, like it takes away choice, stuff like that, right? And so they fixed it. They just gave it to everyone. It's like, hey, it's automatically built into your other shots now. So now you're free to choose, or now you're free to make the fun decisions. So that's kind of like what they do. They try to like simplify the game in a way that there's not like a needlessly annoying farm or something like that in the game. And so I can see why they did that for the crafting materials. But at the same time, I think the crafting materials was like the least painful part of all of the crafting of set and legendary items. Like, in fact, it was kind of fun. Like, it added a little bit of flavor to the game, I think, that now is gone. Like, if I want, like for the Devastator, right? Like, I wanted to craft a Devastator. I found the plan. I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna craft some up. So, I farmed for, for a little while, getting a couple of them. I only got 2, so all I could do was craft 2 of them, and so I had to use the better of the 2. Like, that experience, that struggle to get like a good Devastator, I think it adds value to like the gameplay experience for me. The Devastator that I got like means a little bit more because, like, God, I can only craft 2, and that's the best one that I found, or that's the best one that I crafted. And I had to actually work to get that, and I had to do something special, not just like, hey, I collected a ton of Forgotten Souls, I'm not gonna go craft all sorts of random legendaries. No, like, I wanted one item, and I had to do something special to get that one item. And because I had to do something special, there is a struggle attached to that item that, to me, adds a value to the item for me. Like, that Devastator is something that I worked for specifically. And I think that's something that you lose when you take away the crafting materials. It's just a tiny little thing. It doesn't make like a gigantic difference necessarily, but I think it wasn't a big enough struggle that it fixed any sort of problem, or it became like less frustrating. Like, all it is now is like, the thing to overcome for crafting is still the Forgotten Souls. It's still that. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I really don't know how I feel about it. Like, it's okay. I'm not super pleased that like they did take away some of the flavor of the game. Like, it's kind of cool having certain monsters drop kind of like certain things, not necessarily like legendaries. Oh, here's the axe. Oh, the butcher's cleaver thing. Like, I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool. It did add a little bit of flavor to the game. It added a little bit more to the experience, and now it's just gone. So, I don't know. But that said, I think I don't know. Like, you guys can tell, I still haven't even like fully made up my mind about how I feel about it. Holy crap, these guys hurt. I think probably when it comes to seasons, it's probably an okay change. But I would probably like to see if they wanted to do something, and I'm not saying that this was their intention, but if they wanted to do something to make set items and legendaries more useful for like the beginner, and let's face it, when the seasons come, we're all going to be beginners again. We're all going to have to start over from zero, right? Hey, a legendary. And so, ooh, that was a close one. Let's see, what's the spear? Oh, it's the Ariat's something. Like, we're all going to be beginners again, right? So we're all going to start out with nothing. And so when we find those sets, when we find those legendaries, it's going to be really fun to craft them and have them be useful. Like, you're going to be able to craft Skellen's Deceit and actually use it. You're going to be able to craft, like, that random two-handed bow, because that's going to be your best source of an item for, like, potentially a long time. So that's going to be really fun, I think, for a lot of people. But what I would like to see them do more of is some of the worse crafting legendaries and crafting sets. I would like to see them change the cost of some of those. I think some of them maybe should just require one Forgotten Soul, and maybe when you salvage them, you don't get a Forgotten Soul. Like, if something costs one Forgotten Soul and you salvage it, maybe it should just be that you don't get a Forgotten Soul back. Like, that would be fair to me, because those things are not meant to be for players who have a lot of Forgotten Souls to use. You know, they're for the players who have, like, oh my god, I just found a legendary and I haven't salvaged a legendary for the whole life of this character because I've needed everything that's dropped, and I finally have a Forgotten Soul. That means I can craft something once. What do I need the most of? You know what I mean? And so, like, it's kind of going to work in a way that Kadala kind of works, as a way to kind of like fill in legendaries. And I think the important thing behind that is those same items are not going to be useful long term. So why are they costed in a way, or why are they priced in a way to control or to prevent higher geared people from crafting a ton of them? They're never going to craft them. Never going to craft them. My Demon Hunter has, like, for the first week, my Demon Hunter, I had to farm up crafting materials to make a bow. I did. And it was a really, I don't know, it was a fun experience. It took me a couple of rolls. I finally got one that I liked. It took me quite a while to farm up the materials and the Forgotten Souls. And, but since then, I haven't crafted a single weapon. A single weapon. And I have a lot. Like, there are a lot of bows that you can craft as a Demon Hunter. But I'm never going to craft another one on that Demon Hunter at all. Period. There's just no need for it. So, however, like, when I was lower tiered, I wish that I could have crafted, like, a bunch of different bows and just tried all of them out and just looked to see which ones I liked better, you know? And so that would have, enhanced my gameplay experience, I think. But now, like it's just too, like, the cost is too prohibitive to do that with a low-geared character. And I think that is, I think, what they needed to address with crafting. Not the crafting material, but the actual, like, Forgotten Soul cost. That is what's going to make it a less than ideal experience for people, is when they find those items, they will not be able to craft them for a potentially long time. I still can't aggressively craft anything at all. In fact, I think I have one Forgotten Soul, so let me change that statement. I can't craft anything at all. You know, And I'm in Torment 2. Oh boy, and I'm about to die. Oh yes, I want to live. Let me live. Okay, I lived. I'm in Torment 2. I could probably be doing Torment 3. And so, hey, a Forgotten Soul, yes. But I can't, like, aggressively craft anything. In fact, I can't even craft anything at all. Well, now I can, because now I have 2. But, so at this point that I'm in, probably Torment 3 and above, it's like, okay for some of these items to cost 2 Forgotten Souls. It's okay for, like, the All Guild set to take 2, because that set is really good. It's useful very long term. I would say it's even okay to have a Shira's cost 2, because that's actually potentially useful for quite a bit longer than Torment 1. But like the Guardian set, that's not necessarily very useful later on. It's useful a lot less frequently than some of these other ones would be. The Cane set, not very useful long term at all. I mean, like the Cane set is going to be that item that you find when you're in Torment 1 and you still have rare boots, and you're like, yes, I found something so I can craft legendary boots now. And even better, if I have the extra material, I can craft another item and get the set bonus too. So like that should cost 1. The Boardwalker, like these boots, there's no reason that these should cost 2. Like by the time you're in Torment 1, you have found, like the boots are probably going to be one of the easiest things to find. Like you find legendary boots like right off the bat pretty much, and like any pair of boots is going to work. With these Boardwalkers, like that resource, 2 Forgotten Souls into that, I just don't like that. I mean, like I can't imagine ever actually crafting that, because there's nothing special about the boots, and that's, I think, the important thing. There's nothing actually special about these boots. If there was some special modifier, boom, throw another Forgotten Soul requirement. Yes, it should take 2. If one of the sets, like if one of the set bonuses is really good, yeah, each piece should take 2. If it's a very desirable thing. The Guardians thing, that's a useful set for people very early on, but the cost is so prohibitive that people who would use it and make good use of it will not be able to. And I think that's what needs to be adjusted on some of these things. How about Pender's Purchase? It's 6 random magic properties. Random. Okay? Like, that thing should just cost 1. Because this is what you have to find to craft these. There's nothing special about these gloves. 6 random magic properties, nothing special. You have to find the recipe, which is like a legendary drop, right? And then you also have to find 2 legendaries to salvage, basically, in order to get 1 chance at a legendary. And these gloves are not going to be something that like someone is going to use long term. It's only going to be useful for someone early on. So who is really going to craft these? Who is going to be so starved of good legendaries that they're not going to already have a decent pair of gloves, and they're going to have an excess of Forgotten Souls? There aren't going to be many. So, anyways, I'll get off my my soapbox about that. But that is something that I definitely experienced, and that is something that was kind of disappointing as I was going through. Like working on my Barbarian, is especially the crafting materials, because I love the crafting in this game. Like I think it's awesome. I love crafting stuff. I liked the crafting materials, but they're gone. Whatever, that was a decision. That's just what, it is what it is. But I really like to craft. I wished that I could have done it more, and it would have been more useful for my character as I was gearing them up. As it is right now, the level that I'm at, I have Cinder Coat, I have Weight of the Earth. Like, look at the gear that I have. There's not much that's going to be craftable for me. What is craftable for me right now is the All Guild Shoulders and the All Guild Bracers. That is something that I will probably do. At this point, those should cost 2 each. I agree with that. That is the perfect point, because I'm this far into the game. I should be able to acquire legendaries at a better pace, perhaps. I should be able to be getting more Forgotten Souls because I'm using less of the drops that I'm getting. So I should be required basically to be spending those Forgotten Souls for more of these items. So anyways, wow, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? I really kind of rambled on and on about that stuff. Sorry, guys. But yeah, like, let me know what you guys think about that. What do you think about this crafting material change? Have any of you guys recently started Diablo 3? What's your take on the early game so far? How long did it take you to get up into Torment 2, Torment 3, Torment 4? Hey, ding, level 85. Hey, let's gamble up. I'm going for... Shoot, I forgot what I was going for. Oh, shoulders. I'm trying to get the Weight of the Earth shoulders so that I can start gambling up an Immortal King's helm, so I can get both the Immortal King's set and the Weight of the Earth set. So here, let's see if we can do that. Nope. Yeah, that's the luck. But anyways, guys, thank you very much for checking it out. Checking out the video here. And also check out my Torment 6 challenge videos. I'm going to be doing a couple more of them. Like I said in the last one, I've been doing a lot of this Barbarian on the stream, and so a lot of it is not captured in that, and so I'm gonna have to do like a couple more update videos on that to kind of get you guys all caught up. But so far it's looking awesome. Like I got the Mad Monarch Scepter, loving this thing, it's amazing. I got a Devastator, I got the Weight of the Earth set, I got a Cinder Coat. It's looking awesome. My next step, I'm gonna be going for, well, like I told you, possibly the Immortal King's Weight of the Earth set, just for fun. But also I'll be crafting all guild shoulders, all guild bracers. That is my next kind of my next target. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching and have a good one.